Right.
I know I'm going back to basics a bit here, but I assume you're already in the develop mode, are you?
Yes, I am. I mean, I can go back. There's
No. It's just I couldn't
right.
see on your screen.
Yeah. So you see the grid mode, can you?
Yeah, gotcha.
Right. So we go back to the develop module. Now, Adobe have just brought out a new version of Lightroom, and as you can see, they've changed the curves a little bit. They've given you, instead of having a drop-down box where you can go through the RGB and the colours that was down the bottom here, yeah, they've now given you 3 colour buttons.
All right.
See, this one here was the one that Chris was showing you last week, which is sort of the default setting. So you can adjust the shadows, the darks, and the lights, and the highlights, and that shows you where you are on the curve. And you can then move the midpoint. Yeah. So therefore, if I adjust the highlights here, yeah, I can then shift where the curve starts. Yeah, you got that?
Yeah.
And then for the lights, it's the same as well. You see, it's shifted the center of the curve right up to the top. And again, I can shift where I want it to start and move it along. And I can do that for all of those.
So what's the advantage of that?
So, what, the advantage of the curves? We're doing it this...
Of shifting where you're...
Well, okay, let's... can I reset this?
Bottom right.
Hold the Alt key down. I'm going to reset the whole lot. Now, if I do the shadows, yeah, it's doing it quite dark. Yeah, the darks is the probably good one because it's quite a big area. Yeah, but I can then shift. Or is it moving? Let's do it that way. I can then shift where the darks start. It's not really showing it. Lights, which is that slider. You can see now I can then affect where it's actually starting from. So therefore you can narrow the curve.
Okay.
But it's a bit sort of imprecise, that method. But if you go to the linear one here, okay, now you've got a linear curve. You can start with a medium contrast or a strong contrast. So what you've got in effect for the graph itself, you've got the output values on the left and the input values on the side, on the bottom. Yeah, so this is what the image is, and this is what you're going to output them to the screen. So if we take this point in the middle, oh, stop it. Hold the Alt key down, you got a bit further. So can I do this? If I put 1, 2, 8 in there, and then 1, 2, 8, which happens to be the middle, so the input equals the output, yeah? So it's a one-to-one mapping. Now if I want to make it brighter, yeah, so with the same input value, oh, get away. Using the pen, it's a bit too bloody sensitive. No. So if I want to input the out, see if I hold the shift key, it goes up in a straight line. Now you see the output level is getting brighter, it's getting bigger, so therefore the image is getting brighter in the mid-tones.
Yeah.
And because it's pinned at the end, it acts like an elastic. If you hold an elastic band at either end and pull it, yeah, that's effectively what you're doing to it. So it's straight, it's bending the curve between 2 fixed points at the beginning and at the end, between the black and the whites. But if you don't want it to affect the blacks, let's just put this back down to here again. Oh! Right. What I tend to do is put a spot in the middle, put 3 spots in. And then what that does, it pins this, so this doesn't move. You'll get some movement because
Have you put those on those grid lines?
I have done, yeah, effectively, but you can put them anywhere you want. So therefore now, as you can see, it's having a little effect on the blacks and on the whites. And I can put another one here and just bring this bit up in the blacks. If you go too far, then you start getting some funny effects. I mean, and I don't think there's a limit to what you can do. You can put on a number of points. You can go really mad with it. And if you want to find out what this area is up here, so there's a little button. It's top left
Yeah,
hand.
I quite like using that one. That's quite effective.
Yeah. And you can see where it's put the point on here. Look.
I see. So it tells you the position of
Yeah.
where you are on the.
Yes.
Yeah,
So
you can sort of, you can just go on, you can go on specific areas and sort of lighten them or darken them, can't you?
Yes, I mean this area over here is quite dark.
Yeah.
Yeah. So if I click on this here, you can see it's right down the bottom here.
Yeah.
But let's just go back to linear for a minute. So go back to linear. Oh, I don't know, you actually save the curve that you want. So we go back to linear, and we then get hold of this point here. Then you see it's moving the whole curve. So you can restrict it by putting, I don't know, somewhere there. You know, so you just have to keep playing around. But you can get some pretty garish effects. And you can, when you get hold of a point, you can slide it up and down the curve.
I've just opened up one from, I presume it's Ride or Water as well. There's one with a little boathouse.
Yeah, yeah.
Lovely reflections. And playing around with this slider thing, I've just got myself another impressionistic photo I can work
yes,
on.
I mean, that's...
I've just found something I wasn't aware of. Brilliant.
Yeah, I mean, let's go back to linear. What you can do, because this is the black and this is the white, yeah, I can then map all the blacks to white and all the whites
Oh, so you can reverse it.
to black, so you get a negative.
Yeah. It's amazing what you can do.
Yeah. And then if you put it down the middle, so that's half, so you can do it 50% grey. There and there. So there you've got
Disappeared.
1, 2, 8, which is the sort of, it's an 8-bit thing, so you do 1, 2, 8. Oh yeah, because I'll point in the middle, but so yeah, you can, it's an overlay on top of the basic controls.
Yeah.
So if we just go to basic, yeah. So we've got a full complement of histogram there. But as you see, as you pull that up, you can actually push it up into the clips as well. So you may need to pull them back. So that's the advantage of going up to the histogram sometimes. If you're in another module, you don't have to keep going back to the basic. You can just go to the histogram and then say, oh look, I want to pull
move
this,
that about. Yeah.
move that about. But you're not changing the graph.
Yeah.
Sorry, the curve, but you're changing the histogram within it, but you're not changing the curve itself.
Oh, I see. Right.
Now, if it's a bit too lively for you, what you can do is hold the Alt key down or the Option key, I think it's on Mac, and it
Yep.
slows it right down. So you got a lot finer adjustment. Yeah, so I'm holding the Alt key down at the moment. If I was to release it,
Yeah, it jumps a lot quicker.
yeah, and also you can go you can go left to right. So if you hold the Shift key down, it restricts you to vertical movements only. And if you use both, you're up and down in a straight line.
Slowly.
Yeah. Excuse me. So that's curves. I mean, they now you can change colours. They've changed this again, so they've actually given you the colour. So you've got red here, and opposite the red is cyan. Yeah. So if you push it that way, you get more red and more cyan.
Yeah.
And consequently green is magenta, and green and blue is yellow, you know, blue and yellow. So the major, you won't see this, Paul, in your version.
No.
I can't see that you'd want to use it anyway.
Well, it's good. I mean, let's just put it back.
Well, because you can adjust colours anywhere, can't you?
Yeah, but if you,
other places.
if you want to do some toning, if I just do a monochrome, you can actually then tone your image.
Okay. Why would you want to?
trying to do a sepia,
Yeah.
or some other. And sometimes you want to take an overall, I mean, you can use the tint as well to take out the overall colour cast.
Mm.
And that gives you an option to tint your images. But I must say, it is quite hard to actually get a good sepia tone out of it.
Well, you just leave it for 100 years. That's the best one.
Oh, that's right, yeah.
Yeah.
So that's about all you've got on curves. So you can start with a strong contrast or a medium contrast. You think you've got anybody for anything else?
Well, going back to several lessons ago,
Yeah.
I am now starting to put together, I use quick collections,
Yes.
but I'm now starting to use collections for things.
Right.
Not really clear between what the difference is between a collection and a smart collection.
Right. Okay.
If that's,
Let's get rid of this one here.
so I mean, just to give you an example, I'm now thinking it would be really useful if, instead of making a physical list in a Word document of the images that I've got mounted, printed and mounted, what I could do is have well, I don't know, should it be a smart collection, or should it be a collection, or should it be a quick collection?
Right.
Of images that I can just go to, and there they are, and I actually can see what the images are, and I know that I've mounted them and printed them.
Right. A quick collection is where you just want to sort of grab the images, put them in an unspecified group. Say you want to give them to somebody, print them out for a competition, Yeah, you can just add them to the quick collection. So you just scroll through them and pick the ones that you want.
Right, and
Yeah.
you can just drag and drop those.
You can drag and drop.
That's the way you do it, is it?
The thing to do it is that depending on how you got your grid view set up. Yeah.
Well, mine's similar to yours. Yeah.
Right. Can I increase the size of the grid? Oh, wrong way. Yeah. It's got. You can set this up now. How do I? Let's just check. View. View options. Okay. Now in grid view, you've got a couple of extra things to do. Yeah. You've got expanded cells or compact cells. So if you've got the compact cells, you just get these big numbers come up with nothing else on it. Yeah.
Right.
Where did you get that sheet from, Jeff? Sorry.
That is right. Let's just go back to that.
It was view.
View, and then view options while in grid view. Right. Control J.
View. View options. Lovely. Thank you. Yeah.
Yeah. So if we go, I always use the expanded cells because it gives me the file name and the exposure. Yeah.
Mm.
You can tint scale, you know, you can say show image info in tooltips, grids, flags, thumbnail badges. The unsaved metadata is when it's not, the catalog's out of date. The index number, you can put rotation flags on it. Oh, come on. And then you the index, so you can pick a whole load of things what you want to expose onto the grid view.
Oh, right. Yeah.
Yeah, I'll
often wonder what that was, where you did that. That's good. That's learned.
Okay, and when you're in loop mode, which is big info, you've got this info tab at the top. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And again, you can pick from various info that you want to be displayed. So it's purely your choice. Okay, and then you've got two info options. Okay.
Mm-hmm. Why two? Why have you got two?
Well, you just might want a different information up. Yeah. Right. So what? To cycle through them, if you press the I button, yeah. So it goes from off to what you got selected at 1. So if you're in loop mode or develop mode, yeah, you want to know what the image is and what exposure you've got, such like, because you don't have access to the metadata in the develop module.
Oh, I see. Right. Yeah, it scrolls through.
You can scroll through and then turn it off.
Oh, right. Okay.
So if you go back to grid mode, and then what you've got in grid mode, let's go back to, just pick a folder for a second. Just make these a little bit smaller. What you've got here also is at the bottom, you've got the ratings, so you can give it star ratings. So any numbers, type any number between 1 and 5, or 0 sets it to 0, 1 through to 5. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You've also got, you can color code it there. Okay. You can tap on the flag to flag it, or type P. But what you've also got is this little dot in the top corner. Now it says add photo to target collection. It doesn't actually tell you what your target collection is. That's the problem. The only way to find that out is to sort of, you've got nothing selected there by the looks of it. And then if you go to collections here, so I have no idea what the, I think it put it into quick collections because the, somewhere down here that hasn't got anything in it anywhere. Yeah, so add to target collection, because normally where's it put it? Excuse me for a second while I'd remove from target collection. I'll go to collection. Oh, Lake District. So where is it? So obviously I've got a collection Lake District somewhere. Oh yes, it's in export to Flickr. And as you can see, it's got a little cross beside it, a little plus sign.
Yeah.
That is saying it's a target collection. Yeah. So I can then, if I say, right, this one here, click on it, my quick collection, if I click on it, set as target collection.
Right.
So now if I go back, I can, just to show me all the photos that are in there. Go back to folders. Now it says add photo to quick collection. Yeah, you can see that.
Yep.
Yeah.
You can also do it by saying add to target collection. Well, it says add to quick collection here now at the moment. But that's a bit tiresome, scrolling up and down, finding the collection and then adding it to it. What I do now is, because I've got this in solo mode.
You've got it in what mode?
Solo mode. If you click on the top menu bar, yeah, and then left click your right click your mouse button.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you get these other options come up. So these are what you want to display.
Yeah.
Top section. Yeah. And you've got solo mode where you only get one open at a depending on which one you click on, you only get open at that one time.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But what I do, if you do solo mode, come out of solo mode, I can open the collections. Yeah. Let's do publish services because that cancel that, because these published services are collections as well. Yeah. I can then click on the middle of the photograph and then drag it and put it in the collection, which is far simpler in my opinion. Yeah, then scrolling up, remember what the target collection was and adding it to the target collection, because it doesn't tell you.
Right. Yeah.
I can then, so therefore if I then take this one and put this one in, I'll open up. I can then, if I put this one in a quick collection and this one in the quick collection, yeah. Now, if I say go to collection, it now tells me what collections it's in. Yeah, do you follow that?
Right. Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So now if you want to make your own collections for stuff, I just click on the make new collection. All right. Now collection set. All right, make a collection and call this H2 test. Yeah.
Yeah.
And you say you can include selected photos if you want. You can make new virtual copies and set it as a target collection. All right. Quite straightforward. So I've created a collection now that's called H2 test, and there's one photo in it because it had the selected photo in it. You got me?
Right.
So that is a standard collection. So therefore now I can select all of those images and then go to drop them into that. Yeah. So so therefore, if you say you've got a competition coming up, you can name it whatever it is, or or a project or somebody's name that you want to do. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So it becomes a single entity. Now I can then, so therefore, if I call this H2 test, and then inside dip, if I say okay, I want to put DPIs for argument's sake, then I can say create collection. You say inside collection set, smart collections. No, I don't want.
So you can make a subfolder then.
Yes, you
Is that
can.
what you're doing there? Yeah.
Yeah, it's right.
Yeah, so I've got a collection called H2, and within that I've got DPI competition. I've got subfolders: DPI
Yes.
competition. I've got Facebook. I've got Flickr, and the different Facebook ones I've got, so that I put each image in those, so I know where I posted stuff, and that's how I'm using it.
Yeah. So if I'll click.
Very organised. That's
No, I'm getting there.
So if a name select, let's just call it H2. So now I've created a collection set. Yeah, it's given me like a filing cabinet symbol. Yeah. So if you click, get on it, right. So it's created something like a filing cabinet. This was a folder. Yeah, it was a straight collection. Okay. Now this is what they call a collection set. Okay. So what you can now do then is create a collection inside H2 test 2. Yeah, and you can call it DPI. So now I've got a DPI selection under it. I can then, you can go further and then say create a collection, prints. And you can
But these don't hold the actual image. These
they
are
don't hold the image at all.
a direction to that image.
Yeah, it's just a virtual link. So
Yeah,
again,
that is the beauty of it, isn't it? That it doesn't add to your hard drive.
No. So therefore,
File size.
So you could have pre-selected your images for a DPI event or a print event in your quick collection. And you're thinking, well, yeah, I like that one. I like that one. And I like that one. To hold the control of command key, you select individual images. And I can say, okay, I can just drag that and then drop that into the prints. Yeah, and then I can clear the quick collection for another use. So in here now, I have got the 3 images.
So does it keep it the sort of the menu that it was at that time it was produced, so that if you alter the actual base image somewhere because you think, oh, I might use this in another competition and I can do this to it now because I've learned a bit more, does it change that one that's sitting there?
Yes,
in that collection?
Yeah, because right, so
unless you rename it, save it as something else.
Right.
Yes, you can make you can make a virtual copy. Yeah. So I can then do if I make control apostrophe. Come on. Right. Select a photo. Right, so I've got a virtual copy now of this one.
Yep.
You can tell it's a virtual copy because it turns up in the corner. Yeah.
Yep.
Oh, right. Yep.
you can also tell from the metadata, yeah, it's called copy 1. Yeah, so therefore I can rename it again. So therefore, yeah, I'll come show me the name. Copy name. Where, yeah, that's the copy. Where is it? It normally shows you the
Yeah,
copy.
as you hover over it, it shows it.
Yeah, but it keeps the preserved file name is there, the file name.
Yeah.
So all I've done is just change the copy name of it. Yeah. I don't want to change. You don't want to change the file name. So the changes I make to this now. So if I go to the develop module, it's still, as you can see from the history, it's just created a virtual copy. But I can't tell this is a copy just by looking at the image. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So if you cycle the I thing, it tells you it's HT test DPI. Well, it will have a copy 1, 2, 3, or 4, depending on how many copies you've made. Yeah.
Right.
So you could leave it as copy 1. I mean, if I do Control Z, it'll take me back. Control Z, if you just swap the module, it'll swap back to the previous module as well. Yeah, so it's gone back to copy 1, the name. Yeah, if I go back into the develop module, as you can see, it's copy 1. So you can give it a more meaningful title if you so wish. The choice is yours.
Brilliant.
Right, let me just give some information about these little. Can you see these little tags down the bottom in the grid?
Yep.
This one here means it's got a keyword. So it's like a luggage tag. It means it's got a keyword on it. So
Oh, right. Yeah.
yeah. So you can see this one's got a couple of keywords on it. This one here means it's in a collection.
And what does that look like? It's very
Well,
small on my screen.
It's like a little folder. I can't if I make it any bigger, I can't show it. It's unfortunately just tucks away in the corner. Yeah.
All right,
If
it's
you
all right,
zoom
I'll
in on your
bring that up.
grid view, does that?
Yes.
I'll just try that. It's sort of just
Because grid view, you can go up to, so it's just showing the one image at a time, can't you?
yeah. I think that's about as large as I can go.
Okay.
Yeah. It's as large as it'll go. So yeah. So that means it's in the collection. Yeah, and if you just click on it, it's in quick collection and in prints.
Ah, right. I'm with you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This one here means it's been cropped. It's like a little dotted line in the square.
Right.
Yeah. And the one next to it is a plus and minus. It has development adjustments.
All right.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
if I click on the cropped symbol, it takes me directly to the crop tool.
Mm-hmm.
And conversely, if you click on the plus and minus, it'll take you into the develop module. Oh, any questions?
What's interesting about the cropped one, I can't see that on any of mine, but
Well, are any of your images cropped?
oh yeah, I crop loads. But then possibly I've done it in Photoshop and sort of come back in again or something.
Yeah. Yeah. It only works if you cropped the image in
I've
Lightroom.
only done it in Lightroom, yeah.
Mm.
So if I go back to grid and pick a folder, as you can see, there's nothing on this one. Right, it's got a keyword,
Yeah.
and that's it.
I think it loses some of it if you export it to a folder. So you've finished it and I've now exported it somewhere. It
Yeah,
then it loses off those bits because it's not that folder that has that grouping.
the thing is, Alan, you've changed it from a raw file to a TIFF or a JPEG.
Yeah.
So therefore, it just pushes everything together. So all the Lightroom adjustments don't get lost. They get applied to the image, but you've got no history of it.
Yep.
Mm.
Do you get the collections now, Paul?
Yes, yeah. What I've done is I've actually got a couple. I haven't called them anything because I can rename them, but yeah. So I've now got images printed and mounted, and I've actually made that a targeted thing. So I can now do that, go through my images and yeah, do what I wanted to do.
Mm.
And I think, I mean, if I wanted to further catalogue that, then I can put a subfolder. I can put subfolders in, can't I?
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
I would just have to make that one a set. Was it a set you called it?
Yes.
Yeah.
What you this needs to be. It's a collection set.
Yes. And then that's what Jo was saying, that she's got Facebook and all the other ones in.
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah. Useful. Very useful. And all, because what I used to do is I would either, as I say, make up a Word document and type them all in, or make up another file and copy and paste them into another file, which of course increases your size,
Yeah.
doesn't it, on your hard drive.
That's what I used to do as well. So it was, a bit tiresome. But,
yeah, I hadn't realised that Lightroom was just so useful for this cataloguing and collections. Yeah, brilliant.
Yeah.
And also, I hadn't realised that quick, what's it called? I don't know why. Why is quick collections in with the catalogue and not in with the collections? Haven't a clue. But anyway, no. I hadn't realised that you can make that a target as well.
Yeah, but as I said, you don't need to make them targets. Yeah, if you've got your collection window open, yeah, you can just click and drag them in.
Drag and drop, yeah.
Because it's difficult to think, oh, what I've got to make that one a target collection. Move one folder. That wants to go into that folder, which is another target. Make that a target collection, and then. Oh,
I see. Yes. Yeah. But if you're only working with a quick collection and you want to run through, then it's easy to. I think you. Yeah. What does it say there? Quick collection. I just saw it come up. You hit the B button. You just hit B, and that puts it in a quick collection. If
I make this one the target collection here, for argument's sake, set the target collection, and just go back to there, it's got. But you can see the little circle up there adds it to the target collection. But if you do B. Oh, it's added. Yeah, B adds it to the target collection as well.
That's it. Yeah, that's what I just saw come up. Yeah. So I mean, that if you're only working with a quick collection and you want to make a quick collection of things, either as you say, click that little round thing, or hit B. Yeah. It just makes it so. So useful.
You have to make sure that it is the target collection.
Oh yeah.
Otherwise, you'll end up going nowhere, and you can't find out where you put it.
Yes. And then you're going to be all over the place, aren't you?
Yes. You say go to collection, it'll give you a list. What's in it? So if you right click, and sort of a third of the way down.
Yeah, no, that's brilliant. Thanks, Jeff. Because that's also that view menu, and where was it? View options. So it's Control J.
Yeah.
Again, that's useful to know about as well. to have either all the stuff you want on the slides or not.
Yeah, I mean, it's useful to have sometimes the sort of the image, the image number up, and a few other bits and bobs on what size it is, because you might sort of think, well, this ain't working out. What's wrong with it? And you find it's a pretty little small image.
Mm.
But it's usually in loop mode to find out what's what. You can hide it if you've got a small screen or you're working in that top corner.
Yeah. Oh, brilliant. And then that eye business, yeah.
Yeah, because I'm guilty of having them saved in multiple folders. So as you say, using up shed loads of space for the. So I've probably got like one image probably in about 4 different folders.
Yeah, I mean, if you've converted them to JPEGs or TIFFs, you're not actually saving any workspace, any disk space. But what I've started is actually store them with the original image and put them in the collections.
Yeah. Yeah.
Rather than I mean, I used to have a whole set of folders, sort of with landscapes in it, black and whites, portraits, and all that sort of stuff. But it was handy if I wanted to find them outside of Lightroom.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the only thing I find. If I create an image and it's in Lightroom and in a folder, but then if I want to put it on Facebook, I've got to go back to the original folder.
Yes.
Mm.
And then sometimes I can't remember where, and that takes a bit of time sometimes.
But if you click on any image in Lightroom, it
does tell you where it is.
It tells you down bottom left, doesn't it?
Well, what you can do then is if you right click and then go look, show in Explorer.
Yeah, I do that sometimes. Yeah.
Oh, all right.
And it tells you where it is. Yeah.
Yeah.
Ah, right. That's another way of doing it. Yep. Cool. So many ways.
So there is.
My only concern because I'm paying for the CC one.
Mm-hmm.
If I ever stop paying, then I've lost all of that.
That is so true.
I know, that's the only thing that I think, oh God, all this work, and what if something happens and I lose it all?
Convert more to JPEGs is so good, so that it's worth potentially either making. I keep saying make a bloody book or several books.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's the only way to sort of preserve them is actually get them onto print, or you could dedicate the whole library, to some museum or something. But who's going to want them?
I had a scare this week because my laptop, it wasn't charging. It was either the charger had gone wrong or where it goes into the charger. Yeah. And I thought, no, if I need to buy a new one, the old Lightroom won't work on the new
that's
Mac.
what you might have, yes.
And I would be, now I'm using Lightroom, I would just have to go for the cloud copy. I'd have to pay the £10 a month. And they've got you then.
Yep.
But luckily enough, it worked. I got it working, so.
Good.
So I keep all my images on a remote drive just because I do it all off of a MacBook. So that's not got hardly any capacity at all. Mm. If I want to we've been on holiday and we want to show the in-laws some images from that holiday, do I either have to take that remote drive with me, or is there an easier way of being able to show something? Because obviously it'd be stored in Lightroom, have all its adjustments done.
Yes. What you can do then, let's just go back to it. If we go up here, no, he hasn't got it. So we can then, come on, work. Oh yeah, you can go to slideshow.
Right.
I mean, it's okay for a basic image. Yeah.
Yep.
So you can do stuff with it.
But you've still got to be connected to your hard drive, haven't you?
Yes, but But if you're what you saying you're away on your holiday, or
So we got back from holiday.
yeah,
Instead of having to transport the sort of the remote drive as well with me, if I just want to be able to show them sort of some images, like a slideshow of sort of 30 of the best ones that we've done from a Caribbean holiday or something.
yeah.
Is there an easy way of, or is it better to just save that folder as a copy onto the laptop and then sort of delete it once I've shown them?
I mean, you could always export them as JPEGs.
Yeah.
And then just show them that way using the sort of the native image viewer. On whatever you got on, with a Mac.
Yeah.
So basically, yes, Alan, you have got
Yep.
to do that.
Yeah.
I think it's
Which is
the
what I was doing, but I was just wondering whether there was a clever way of
No, I mean you can go
a virtual one.
you can go into this slideshow thing, or you could probably upload them to Dropbox or something, and then show them that way and get them to view them.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've never used this in anger at all. So. Right. Nobody's got nothing else. Anything else?
Oh, that's a quick hour. Just gone, isn't it?
Yeah.
Wow. Well, nearly. Lovely.
Leslie, what are you using? Do you use Lightroom?
You're muted.
Sound. Put your sound on.
You're muted, Leslie. You're muted.
Got to find it
You
first.
need to unmute, Leslie.
Yeah, sorry. Yeah, I've just started using Lightroom, and I'm just starting recataloguing them all, you know, putting them in collections and that. And I'm finding it really good, actually. I really like it.
So what Lightroom have you got?
I've got an old standalone version, 6.
Oh, right. So where did you get that from?
Amazon, I think it was. It cost me about £80–90.
Oh, I didn't realise you could
I
buy
must
it.
have. Yeah, I probably bought it about a year ago, I suppose.
Oh, okay.
But I've only just started using it properly.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I did used to have the online one, but I didn't really want to pay £10 a month. So
Yeah, if you don't use
I'm
it
not
much,
using
it's
Photoshop anymore.
yeah.
No.
But I like Photoshop as well. I really do. Yeah.
It's horses for courses, isn't it?
Yeah.
We're all different, and
Yeah.
Yeah. It's only
I
because
didn't realise you could get it on Amazon. I have to say that's worth knowing.
Yeah, I didn't know you could still buy it.
I don't know if you can anymore. I must admit, I
Yeah.
haven't looked,
I'm
but
not sure you can because they want to be doing this monthly payment, don't they? So,
yeah.
Oh, definitely, yeah.
but yeah, I still got it on my laptop.
You could pay for it for another 60 years, and your kids could take it over. You know.
Yeah, that's the thing, isn't it? It just all sort of dies when you die as well. But then most images do.
That's chirpy. Yeah.
But Millie, my granddaughter's just started to get into photography a bit. So yeah, she's just got affinity. She's getting it tomorrow for her birthday, actually. So she's going to be on a learning curve.
Yeah.
But then,
Well,
of course, you don't have the folders with that, do you? You don't have the Lightroom effect.
No, you don't have the catalogue.
No.
The catalogue, yeah, that's.
No, you don't have the bridge sort of side of it.
Bridge works on folders and things, you know,
Yes.
so it doesn't work quite the same way. They've developed a proper database for Lightroom.
But if she learns Affinity, she'll be able to swap onto Photoshop very easily. They are so
because,
similar.
Yeah, at
So
school they're using Photoshop 6, so they're still on a really old version at school.
Oh, right. Yeah.
So with Affinity, yeah, I've sort of said, you know, it's very similar, so she should be able to do both then.
Yeah, as long as she starts with good habits of the way she keeps the folders and everything else.
Yeah, at the moment she's struggling with that, but yeah.
Yeah, Amazon's only got elements on there other than the CC.
Yeah.
Oh, really? It has now, has it? Yeah. You did well, Leslie, to get in there.
I did. I must have got it just in time.
However, there's probably somebody flogging it on eBay.
Yes, yeah, there'll be ways and means, definitely. Yeah, right. Well,
Okay.
I think time for a cup of coffee.
Indeed.
Yeah.
Right. Thanks very much, Jeff.
Yeah,
No
thank
worries.
you, Jeff.
Well done for stepping into the breach.
Well, you know, that, you know, no stuffing my way through it, you know, but
Yeah.